Hey everybody, hope you're doing well. Look on the screen here. It says Philadelphia Hoods, the epitome of poverty and urban decay. Huh. And if you want to, you can go ahead and check that video out. Doesn't look very pleasing. So here's my question. I'm trying to understand this. Philadelphia has long had a history of poverty. I remember hearing, which totally blew my mind, and this was like pre-pandemic when people were saying, oh, in Philadelphia, it's not uncommon for people to break into houses. Okay, it happens. No, but break into houses specifically to steal food. And I thought to myself, what in the what? Yes, breaking into a house to steal food. That's what I heard from people in Philadelphia. And I thought, this is crazy. And at one while, it was noticed as like the poorest city, one of the poorest big cities in America. So now we're fast forwarding, things aren't getting any better. If anything, it's getting worse. It's just getting very harder and more challenging to survive in this country. Okay? Getting a whole lot harder just to try to survive. So then when I saw this, Philadelphia to spend 120 million on 2026 America's 250th birthday events. We can find this money, for wars. We can find it for the ballrooms. Like, how many of us are going to really and truly sit at barroom, get to experience it? I mean, that's a joke in itself. And yes, you can vote for somebody and not agree with what they do. Okay, everything. People's like, oh, for this reason, for that reason, and I totally get it. So now we have a city. As I said before, I keep saying the politicians don't care about themselves. I was telling a friend of mine, what we're doing is basically, even on the lower level, you're looking for people to get them in a position they're going to earn a check, but it's like, what's the return on the investment? What are they going to do for us? And for what I can see, absolutely freaking nothing. Facts. A big old fat nothing. So you're going to spend $120 million for America's 250th birthday as if everything is going okay. It says Philadelphia is spending more than 120. Oh, more than, I stand corrected. Philadelphia is spending more than 120 million to prepare for America's 250th birthday in July. I wonder how much of that money could go to save someone from losing their home in foreclosure. Gee, I wonder how much that a person could use that to maybe avoid being evicted from their apartment, their rental. I wonder how much food that could buy. See, we're living in two different worlds here. We've got the rich people, and they're like, oh, yeah, we're going to celebrate and party. And some people have a little change comfortable. Yeah, that's good for them. But how can we negate the fact that we have Americans who can't even afford the gas or the groceries? Some people are actually choosing, they're having to alternate gas or groceries. Which one is it going to be? The American dream, in case you don't know, that's all it was, a dream. Now everybody has woken the heck up and you see reality. Person I knew, hardworking man, he had a job, a corporate job, and he was working a corporate job. And then at nighttime, he was doing the, what do you call, like, DoorDash, food delivery. He was doing that, even doing Uber. So he was juggling. So he was up 6 in the morning to get to the office by 8, working a full-time job. And he said sometimes he would get off work. He get off, like, say around 5 o'clock. And I couldn't believe, he said sometimes he'll be working the food delivery Uber deal too, because he does like the people passenger thing, Uber Lyft giving you a ride, not Lyft, I'm sorry, but Uber. And he's like, yeah, sometimes she'll do that until like 12 o'clock at night to make ends meet. Guess what happened? The daytime job already ended. Let go. And have you seen what's happened with the food delivery? I can't believe somebody said, one guy said he drove for 30 minutes and they're going to tell him he made $4. You're operating at a negative. 30, so what? Yeah, 30 minutes. And what happened? $4. You can see the video. What is he going to do with that? He's already operating in the negative. No joke. It's like, you gotta be crazy. So he's like, I quit because you're not making any money. And with the price of gas, one lady said she was driving her vehicle. She's working for a delivery. And so she said the ride was $30. Guess how much she got? The ride was $30. Out of the $30 for the company that she works for, she said she got $5. So I guess the company got the $25 and you're putting your vehicle out there, your insurance, the gasoline prices. It's not even worth doing because you're going to be operating at a negative. It's like, then how can you expect to do a paycheck? You get X amount of dollars. Okay, you got that. Now take out the amount that you spend on just gasoline. Take out the amount you just spend on gasoline. You're operating in a negative. It's like having no job. You're just making somebody else wealthy. So that's what's happening all around the country. Some Americans don't want to work. Whoever you can feel that way, I call total BS. They want to work and be able to have a living wage. They don't want to work all these long hours on a low paying job and sitting up here thinking, ooh, my stomach is growling. Let me go watch everybody else eat. That's nonsensical. It's very cruel. So knowing we have all of these problems, please explain to me how in the heck Philadelphia, more than 120 million to prepare for America's 250th birthday in July. People need food on the table. Someone's rent needs to be paid. It said the city expects more than 1 million visitors for major events like the FIFA World Cup and MLB All-Star Game. So on that respect, of course, some people, the business owners are going to be making some money. Exactly. But 120 million for the 250th birthday party in July? It said officials hope the investment will boost the local economy, but the full impact will be reviewed next year. Some people will make some money, I say, that weekend, but I have a news flash for you. Is the boost you're looking for is going to be temporary. It might be what I call a weekend boost. Because why? The money is not going to stay there. So some people are going to make some money, but it's like, look at the overall picture of what is happening here. Look at what is happening here. You have $120 million to spend on a celebration? I hope on this celebration, they need to have a whole lot of food down there so they can go ahead and feed the citizens. I hope that's part of the deal. Boys, to tell you, they're doing what they want to with the checkbook. They are doing what they want to with the taxpayers' money. $120 million? And look at the suffering of the American people. The city leaders hope the investment will pay off as millions visit for historic events. But what about the people that are there? I guess that's not the investment that they're willing to make. But hey, they need you, of course, to go and vote for them. Yeah. Put them in office, and then when you need some help, good luck, Buttercup. I'm really shocked. So what do you all think about this? As MJ said, they don't really care about us, and they don't. They don't care about the American. We're just there to go ahead and put them in office, and then they're going to do what they want to do. And you're facing food insecurity. Looking at the poverty rate for Philadelphia, let's see, where is that? Let's see, it says poverty rates differ significantly across the demographics, with the highest levels among children, the Hispanic population, and adults lacking a high school education. About 9.4% of Philadelphians live in deep poverty, which is defined as earning 50% or less of the federal poverty threshold, earning about, oh my gosh, $16,500 or less for a family of four. So here nationally, it does say that Philadelphia's dropped to 19.7%, while Houston's rate rose to 21.2%, making Houston the top ranked city for poverty among the top 10 most populated cities in the U.S. And so a lot of people, we talked about that yesterday, they moved to Houston for all the jobs, and now look what's happened, all the layoffs. So of course, you're going to have more poverty. It says Philadelphia's overall poverty rate stands at 19.7%. While the rate has declined over the past decade to its lowest level since 2000, Roughly 1 in 5 residents continue to live below the federal poverty line. Here, Philadelphia is America's poorest big city. 2022 said it was no longer the poorest big city, but the latest one says it's America's poorest big city. Looks like Houston's giving it a run for the money. But what does that let you know? They're not caring about the working stiff. They only care about the working stiff. Only caring about the working stiff when what? When it's time to vote. That's it. Hey, you can't afford the future. Kids can't get a job. Yep, we know the system is broken, infrastructure. What about trying? I mean, I just don't understand it. They're not talking about what are the Americans going to do to survive. And all I can say is, we know you don't care. No talk about what are the American citizens to do to survive. Let's talk about that. You have to invest in your people. That's why kids, you ever notice in a family, when kids, I've been saying, and that's going to be a different video, a lot of parents invest in their kids. And then sometimes kids appreciate it, some kids don't. But it'll give them sometimes a leg up. The one that there's no investment in, you can pretty much expect them just pretty much to start these from scratch day one. So this right here, wars investment in the American people. They don't care. Said before, said again, we're on our own. I told people the way systems work, my understanding, people say, oh, been voting blue all this time and I'm mad. I'm going to go ahead and vote for Trump. And you can do that. But I said, understand this right here. Because you put a new president in office, you put Trump in office, I said, it's not going to get your job back. Was I not right about that? I said, it's not going to, just so you know, it's not going to get your job back. I told people, especially women, having children, might want to pump the brakes on that. This economy is getting really bad. I said, even before this administration took over, I said during the Biden administration, the programs that you think are going to be there to save you are not going to be there. And we fast forward because of Medicaid, Medicare, which I believe Biden once before was trying to cut Medicaid and Medicare back in the day. And that was talk that was presented. This time it really happened. Rural America, how you feeling? Hospitals cut down, got to consolidate. So this is a wake-up call, and I think a lot of people see it. They don't care about us. They do not care about the American citizens, the ones that are struggling. They do not care. We're not even a factor. So Philadelphia to spend $120 million on 2026, America's 250th birthday. Actually, more than what the article says. $120 million, hoping it's going to be an investment. Where's all the accounting on that? They need to make that public. Let's see the accounting. Where's the money going? Because how do we know this won't? This could be a kickback thing to say, hey, we're going to spend this money on people that they know. Where's the money going? We need a full ledger. There needs to be accountability. Where's this money being spent? And then when you see where the money's being spent, okay, let's find out who knows who. Are you connected to anybody? Like the congressman, I never understood how can a congressman, a politician, spend $1 million at a donut shop in 1 year? How many donuts? You must be feeding the homeless down there. I couldn't believe it. And it wasn't Philadelphia, by the way. I already knew then. Common sense we can all figure out. There has to be a connection to that donut shop. Somebody that the person must know. You must be looking like the Michelin blimp. How the heck do you spend $1 million? When I saw that report, this just can't be $1 million at a donut shop. I guess you must be bringing donuts for everybody in DC every day. How is that possible? Can they make that many donuts? I said, this is nonsensical. Gotta be some connection. So this here, I think it needs to be transparency. Where's all the money being spent? Because don't forget, business people, politicians in particular, they can be really slick. So they can say, oh yeah, we're going to put some money over here. And then you might look up, oh, that's their foundation. Oh, that's his daughter. Oh, that's his or her daughter or son. Oh, that's that person's husband. Oh, that's his side piece. Oh, that's the golfing buddy. See, things like that happen. So there needs to be a full accountability. Let's go ahead and bring out the ledger. Where's all the money going? Because the people have a right to know. Is this not tax dollars? Where's all the money? Where's it going? There needs to be accountability for this. Because if that's the case, you can go ahead and put some of that money into food banks. So long story short, they can afford what they want to afford. As I said before, said again, believe it or not, even despite the cruelty of poverty, okay, the cruelty of the ending of the middle class, believe it or not, take it for what it's worth. They're doing what they want to do. And they don't care about me or you. Let me know what you think about this. I just thought Philadelphia, really? I just thought, wow. Are the politicians far removed? No, they know what's going on. The sad thing is, it's going as planned. However, things are going in the country, the few that control it, I don't care who's in office, it's going as planned. Thanks for watching. Feel free to comment, like, subscribe, and share, and I'm out.